Greetings to all of you from St. Benedict Monastery in Bakerstown, Pennsylvania. I am Sister Karen Brink, Prioress of the Benedictine Sisters of Pittsburgh. Welcome to our first ever virtual event, and I am glad to be talking to you without the interference from my mask. Our Benedictine community is delighted to be celebrating the 150th anniversary of our foundation. Plans for our celebration have been in the works for over 2 years. Little did any of us think that many of the events scheduled would come to a screeching halt with the arrival of COVID-19. There is a line from the Psalms that I love, and it is this: "The hand of the Lord is with us. He answers all our needs." Even though events have been postponed, we are still looking forward with hope to be able to reschedule some of them during our 151st year. These are challenging times for all of us. Our 37 members pray daily for all those affected by the pandemic, so you can be sure that you are prayed for each day. And yet, life does go on, and we are invited to what we now call a new normal. So with the help of Peggy Finnegan, Tanya and Jeff Grubbs, Christina Marcico, and some of our sisters, and all of you, we will celebrate in a way that none of us had planned. We know that the divine gaze has a very large smile because, although our plans are taking twists and turns, God's plan is right on track. Enjoy and have fun with the auction, and good luck to those of you who have tickets for the weekend getaway in Brandywine, PA, and the 50-50 raffle. Let's enjoy this time we have together, starting with Peggy Finnegan.
Hello, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the first virtual event hosted by the Benedictine Sisters of Pittsburgh. As Sister Karen mentioned, we have Tanya and Jeff Grubbs standing by to bring us some beautiful music. We'll also be pulling raffle tickets for a weekend away in Brandywine, Pennsylvania. The 50-50 is coming up, and we're going to be offering you the chance to bid on some great auction items as well. But first, we want to remind everyone that this year, 2020, is the 150th anniversary year of the Benedictine Sisters. It is a very exciting time for them, and there were some wonderful events planned, but as we have all learned through this COVID crisis, we're not always in control, are we? So now to tell us a bit about the history of the sisters is Chairperson of the Year of Celebration, Sister Roberta Campbell, and joining her is Sister Judith Ann Kreiner, Chief Archivist for the Benedictine Sisters of Pittsburgh.
Well, Sister Judith Ann and I are going to talk about this 150th celebration. I'm Sister Roberta. And I think, Judy, when we planned the 150th, the whole idea was that, at least for me, history is about telling the story. As a little kid, it was always, tell me a story. And so I think that that's the best way that people can remember and really be proud of, their history. So when we designed the 150th, it was with that in mind. So we opened up in August of 2019 with a really lovely opening. We had Douglas Nowicki, who was the former Archabbot of St. Vincent, and there's a connection there. Our story is connected to St. Vincent's, as you well know. And then we moved into November. We had a session where we invited Mother Adelgunda to come back. And we had invited people from our ministries, various places, that students that we had taught, to come back and to tell a story about how the sisters...
some friends and relatives.
Yes, that's right. And stories that would have impacted them in some way. And Mother Adelgunda kind of tied that all together because she wanted to hear the stories of how her sisters had continued. We had Texas and Coleman, Alabama. And I think that I was unable to make it.
Right.
Yeah. So
Oklahoma wasn't able.
Yeah. But that's so then the COVID hit, and so we had to cancel the Festival of Peace in March, the gala in May, and the big closing, which would be at the end of this month, August. But what we've decided to do is that we're going to have a weekend for the sisters, and we're going to celebrate together, because that's what we have to do. And we're going to celebrate our birthday, because it is actually the day itself, August 29th. Hopefully, as we move into 2021, we're going to be able to do some of the things like the Festival of Peace, the gala definitely, and we'll have a closing event in 2021.
We're going to extend the joy.
Yes, extend the joy, that's right. But I think that the reason why it's so important for you to be part of this is because you know better than most of us the story. And it's the story of this amazing woman who came from Bavaria to America, to Carrolltown, and eventually to Pittsburgh, that really moved the community through that. And this trunk is a testimony to
Right.
that.
Right. Okay, well, the story does. We would have no story at all if we didn't have Catherine Feldman.
Mm-hmm.
And Catherine was the youngest of 5 children, Johannes and Barbara Feldman. And she started out in a small farming community.
Mm-hmm.
It was near Fulda, Germany.
Oh.
At that time, it was known as Prussia.
Oh.
At that time, there was a lot going on in the whole country of Germany. The 2 important things of her family were, the land and the Catholic faith. And in Germany, there was a great deal going on because it was really, really difficult for them because the whole Catholic faith was being oppressed. It was a great deal for the people of Germany that they felt that the Catholic faith was causing a great deal of poverty and a great deal of abuse to the people. So what was going on was very difficult for the Feldman family to handle. And her oldest brother, Damien, who became Brother Didicus, belonged to a Franciscan monastery. And in 1856, they went to the United States. The whole monastery transferred to Paterson, New Jersey. And he wrote back to the family saying, why don't some of you come to the United States for freedom of religion and also to have more opportunity? So Peter and Louis, 2 of her older brothers, along with Catherine, who was only 16 years of age, decided to come to the United States. And Catherine took her trunk and the last of her memories and packed them up and came to the United States. And she lived here with her brothers, we think in a Wilkes-Barre area, until she entered the Sisters of St. Mary's and St. Joseph Convent, and stayed there and had a wonderful life as a Benedictine sister for 8 years until she was asked to go to teach at Carrolltown, Pennsylvania. And that's where we begin on August the 29th, 1870. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more to the story that I'd like to share, but right now, I think Sister Roberta has more that she'd like to say.
Well, I just think it's really important too that that whole travel, from Carrolltown to Johnstown, and then finally the Bishop of Pittsburgh, Allegheny City, invited them to come, and so we came to Canal Street, and then we moved to Perrysville because there was a fire in the building, and we're there for a number of years, and then in 2013, we had sold the property and we moved here to Bakerstown. So when you think about this little girl from Germany, who comes at 16, she was really able, and I think too though, Judy, the thing that is always so marvelous for me is that the woman was in administration. She was elected prioress how many times?
11.
11.
She was elected the prioress 11 times.
That's right. And finally, at the end of that term, she said to the Bishop Canavan,
she said, I have given all that I could possibly give. And she said, I just can't, I have no more to give right now. And he said to her, he said, "Sister, you have been a good and faithful servant. I think that it is time for your community to allow you to retire and to give you some peace."
Yeah.
But she didn't
But
really.
she didn't.
She didn't really, yes, you're right. She continued to give all the gifts that she had to give. And she was sub-prior, she was treasurer, she was secretary. She knitted shawls and mittens and gloves and took care of the school children. She did everything she could because her whole emphasis was to move the community forward. She had the strength of Benedictine in her. That was her goal, to see the Benedictine Sisters of Pittsburgh alive and well into the future.
And she definitely did that. And that's why I think that as we go through this year, that's one of the things that we've tried to do by bringing her back via Sister Evelyn, to be able to say to the sisters, how proud she is of them and of the work that they've done, and that she really blesses that. I think she'd be pretty proud of us as a group if she were here. So I think that we probably are ready now to turn this over. Thanks, I really appreciate sharing that with you. And we can turn, go ahead.
I'd like to just say one more thing that she would probably say to all of us. "I leave you with fond love."
Yes, that was in her memoir. That's right. Yeah. Great, thank you. So we'll now turn this over to Sister Shelley and her group. It's been delightful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sister Roberta, for introducing us and for welcoming us to this little party. We're talking about some of the wonderful prizes that we have for our auction that would have gone at the gala this year. Unfortunately, there were other things that got in the way. But we want to thank all those people who have been part of it and who have been with us as donors and as friends for a long time. But we wanted to show you some of those wonderful prizes because you will have an opportunity to bid for these on a website. The website is 32auctions.com/Benedict2020. We'll remind you of that before the end, but let us show you the wonderful things that you may have a chance to bid on. And I wanted to be sure to let you know that with me here today is Sister Evelyn, Sister Liz, and Sister Barbara, and I'm Sister Shelley.
Yeah. Well, I just want to show you this absolutely beautiful basket that Sister Donna handmade with great love in her studio at St. Athanasius. I used to go down and hang out just to see how carefully and beautifully she made every detail just for you. So here is one of your wonderful best auction items.
We also have a signed, framed jersey from Hines Ward. And certainly anybody from Pittsburgh knew and loved Hines Ward, and it would be a wonderful prize for anybody or for a gift. So that's another opportunity you have to bid on.
Here we have a beautiful Afghan in earthy colors by Sister Judith Nero. Sister Judith Nero is a master knitter and crocheter, and her colors are always like earth colored and just beautiful, very, very well made. So you want to
get a chance to bid on that for sure.
That would be wonderful to roll up in them before a fire this winter.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And we normally do this at the gala, but there were other plans this spring that we had to cancel the gala. So it's nice to be able to share these prizes with people and give them a chance to at least bid on them. Again, the opportunity for you to bid is open until August 31st, and the address again is 32, that's the number 32, auctions.com/Benedict 2020. Okay, now we are going to have one thing that we're going to be able to draw today, and that's a special trip to Brandywine, Pennsylvania. Sister Liz, who is our most senior sister in the community, is going to draw the ticket so that we can let you know. And this comes in the form of a gift card so that you can arrange it whenever you want to go. And it is at the historic Fawn Brook Bed and Breakfast near Brandywine, PA. I know that's down toward Philadelphia, so it should be a lovely, lovely time.
So shall I pick now?
Yes, please.
All righty. Oh my goodness. Here we come.
1, 2, 3.
You're going to read it?
The winner is...
Mary Ann Rooney.
Oh,
Wow.
wonderful, wonderful. And we will be sure to make connection with Mary Ann to show her a lovely present, and then she can make all the arrangements to get that. And Mary Ann Rooney has won the Brandywine trip, and we will turn it back to Peggy. Bye. Thank you. We're praying for you all.
Love you.
Thank you, Sister Shelley, and congratulations to our weekend getaway winner. Now I have the pleasure of introducing our entertainers today, Tanya and Jeff Grubbs, who are two well-known local musicians, and they may be familiar to many of you from the previous Culture of Giving galas, or from the Pittsburgh Symphony, where Jeff is one of the bassists, or from their Porch concert series that goes on every Sunday in Highland Park. And now performing the song Hope is a Thing with Feathers, Tanya and Jeff Grubbs.
Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings a tune without the words. It never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity
Today, more than ever, when so many of us may suddenly face critical medical problems, loss of income, and social unrest, we can really feel alone, and we can end up focusing on things that seem to divide us. But it is at just those moments when the true angels among us are revealed, those who inspire us by their kindness, their sense of giving, their concern and love for others. They are the people of a beautiful culture, the culture of giving. Each year, the sisters identify an individual who personifies the culture of giving and recognizes that person with the Culture of Giving Award. These amazing awardees remind us that no matter how overwhelming things may seem, there is always someone dedicated to softening our harsh realities with love. At the gala next year, you will get to meet our Culture of Giving awardee in person, but she is here with us now to share a few words. I'm very proud and happy to introduce Miss Christina Marsico, who is Director of Engagement for an organization called WORK.
Hi sisters, Tanya and Peggy. I'm here in Pittsburgh and glad to join you and all of the friends of the Benedictine Sisters who are watching today. I feel so fortunate being recognized for doing the work that I simply love to do and carrying that honor for 2 years now. As Peggy mentioned, I work for a nonprofit organization called WORK. Our mission is to accompany families in Haiti out of poverty through good, dignified jobs. We work in a community that encompasses the largest open landfill where we provide wraparound services. We take a holistic approach created alongside our families to accompany them to independence. We start by ensuring all basic needs are met. Neighbors work together to promote safety and cohesion. Our families have access to resources within the community that enables efficiencies, savings for families, and creates jobs. Lastly, we focus on life skills and workforce development into placement of dignified work so families can end poverty for themselves and their community. Within the organization, I manage our fundraising and engagement programs, which include some pretty cool events, such as our Run Across Haiti, a 200-mile, 8-day adventure run, our annual gala that we host right here in Pittsburgh, and our monthly giving program, the One-to-One campaign, that supports the wraparound services for all of our families and their immediate needs, including times like now to ensure they have the proper hygiene supplies and educational workshops in place. At the end of the day, it's about communities coming together for a common goal. I look forward to sharing more in the future and getting to know all of you. Please stay safe and take care of each other. I can't wait to be with everyone when we can finally celebrate in person at the Culture of Giving Gala in May. And congratulations to the sisters for their 150 years of ministry. And now Tanya and Jeff Grubbs will perform their song, The Sculptor's Hands.
What do you see from what remains of a mighty living tree? What does the sculptor have in mind, building art from what was left behind? The sculptor's hands have a plan. How can you bring balance and tension to these mighty living trees? Form and form, shape and grace, how will they fit piece by piece? The sculptor's hands have a plan. The sculptor's hands sees beyond what the mind has in plan. Every touch of the grain, every scar that remains, the sculptor's hands have a plan. Let your mind set you free. Expose the natural beauty for all the world to see. The shape and color of the wood, the sculptor's story forever told. The sculptor's hands have a plan. The sculptor's hands sees beyond what the mind has in plan. Every touch of the grain, every saw that remains. The sculptor's hands have a plan. Let your mind set you free. Expose the natural beauty for all the world to see. The shape and color of the wood, the sculptor's story forever told. The sculptor's hands have a plan. The sculptor's hands have a plan. The sculptor's hands have a plan. Jeff and I look forward to seeing you at the gala in May.
And now back to Sister Shelley and friends.
Well, we're back again, and we all got to enjoy some of Tanya and Jeff's music. Hopefully we'll see them back again for the 2021 gala. They add such.
So good.
Yeah, their music is
Rhythm is something.
Yeah. So, again, Sister Evelyn, Sister Liz, Sister Barbara, and myself, Sister Shelley, are here for another important part of this program, and that is to draw the winner for the 50-50 drawing.
Well, look at this basket, all pretty and full of names. Sister Liz is going to, not too fast,
mix them up.
She's going to draw one of these names, and Sister Barbara will announce it. So now, Sister Liz, you get your chance.
Oh, goody, goody. There it is.
Thank you. And the winner is Pat McCarthy.
Wow! Oh, that's great. That's great. Congratulations,
Can
Pat.
I go with you, Pat?
Yeah. No, this is one where she's got some money. Sister Michael will be in touch with you, Pat, in regard to the any paperwork that's needed, and especially because of the check. You'll get that.
Oh, wow.
And so she'll be calling you. We have your phone number from the ticket. Just reminding you that until August 31st, the auction site will be open where you can do your bidding for August 31st, and then it will be closed. So don't hesitate to go to 32auction/Benedict 2020 to bid on any of these great prizes. And we're so glad to be with you. We have missed you so much. You know, it's just tough having to be closed in, as we all are. But especially we miss our friends, and know that we certainly have been praying for everybody.
That's right.
Yes,
We're praying.
Yeah.
You're in our heart and our prayers.
Yes.
Always.
Yep.
Always.
Yes.
And we sure miss you. Take care, everybody. Bye. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and happy anniversary, sisters. Now, to wrap things up, here is Sister Karen Brink.
Thank you, Peggy. But before we close, here is Sister Michael Mack with a few words for our raffle winners.
Thank you, Sister Karen. I have the most wonderful task of congratulating our 2020 Gala raffle ticket winners. And Marianne Rooney is the winner of the Weekend for Two at Fawn Brook Bed and Breakfast in Brandywine, with 2 tickets to either Brandywine River Museum of Art or Longwood Gardens, and spending cash. You can't go wrong with either of the places because they are excellent. The Brandywine River Museum houses the Wyeth Museum. And the second winner is Pat McCarthy, who has won the 50-50 raffle. And her take is sizable, and it is a round 4-digit number. I will be calling you both shortly. Again, congratulations to our winners, Mary Ann and Pat, and we hope to see you at the 2021 Gala in May, and keep safe. Back to you, Sister Karen.
I hope you have enjoyed our visit and program today. It was wonderful for all of us to be with you, even virtually and without our masks. We are especially grateful to Peggy, Tanya, and Jeff, and Christina for being with us. And a special thanks to Liz Tambori and Joanne Zagorski for coordinating this event. Please visit our website and Facebook page for news and updates. Stay blessed, stay safe, take care of yourselves and those you love.
Floating, drifting so freely in a springtime breeze, finding a place to blossom and grow on your own. Gold hues of blues, red and greens, fields of delicate flowers, blushing pink bud and a tiny wildflower. Beauty surrounds the meadows and prairies freely. Blossoms facing the sunlight and sweet evening breeze. Golds, hues of blues, red and greens, fields of delicate flowers. Splendid flowers, your colors bring radiance and peace. Floating, drifting so freely in a springtime breeze, finding a place to blossom and grow on your own. Gold hues of blues, red and greens, fields of delicate flowers, blushing pink bud and a tiny wildflower. Beauty surrounds the meadows and prairies freely. Blossoms facing the sunlight and sweet evening breeze. Gold hues of blues, red and greens, fields of delicate flowers. Splendid flowers, your colors bring radiance and peace.